Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, MIL isn't including me in SO's birthday planning. I am taking my own cat back from my ex and my ex MIL says I'm being spiteful. MIL showed up at husband's work. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. MIL isn't including me in SO's birthday planning. I've been a lurker for a long time, but today I've broken. Today is my beautiful SO's birthday. All they want is a simple family dinner, easy. They want to help me make the dinner for everyone. We're making their favorite food and they're so excited to make it for everyone. A couple weeks ago MIL asked what they wanted to do for their birthday and they told her and they got was a stare and She then started talking about herself and asked for praise when we weren't reacting the way she had in mind. Fine, whatever, this is what happens whenever my SO tries to tell her anything about themselves. Fast forward, SO asks for help to pay for the food for today as a birthday gift. We're all struggling, right? Make it easy on everyone. The fam agreed to give me money so I could pick up the food. I have severe food allergies, that MIL thinks is fake, FYI, and I wanted to make sure I'd be eating, not dying, tonight. Yesterday they text me, we're in town, we'll get the stuff. Absolutely not. I text them back saying that, it's okay, I'll pick it up tomorrow. Thankfully they cash apped me the money. Now today. SO has been at work all day. I picked up the stuff and I got a cake, a kind my SO asks for every single year, and put something funny on it. I get home and MIL, we live them, times are hard, guys, says she's making a cake. I told her I grabbed one and she says, oh, well I'm still going to make one. This is somewhat maddening considering I got my SO's favorite and they've told me how many times they asked their parents for this specific cake for years and never got it. That is until we got together and the first year I made one, by hand. Also note that one of their siblings got this very kind of cake for their birthday multiple years. I'm doing stuff and I notice they're decorating the dining room. They do it sometimes, I've helped before and am always praised for my ideas. I've even been asked for decorate for other family members' birthdays. They didn't even ask me to help. I'm married to this person. And they ask me to help with every single family event. But when it's my SO's, it's like I don't even exist. I want to be petty so bad. But I won't, because it's the love of my life's birthday. I've decided I won't even bring out the cake I got and show my SO later when we can appreciate it together. And MIL will get her time to shine. I have so many stories, by the way. This woman drives both of us absolutely bonkers. This definitely isn't the worst thing, but after years of build-up I'm just so over it. Edit. Small update. They got them a present which was fine. But a card was included with it, everyone had signed it but me. It crushed me. I had zero idea about this and almost cried at the table. So got mad at the family and everyone blamed everyone. A little bit ago I told SO about everything else I was left out of today and they're pissed, they're going to talk to them about it. I couldn't get through our conversation without sobbing. Also, her cake so bad they only took one bite of it. They also loved the heck out of my cake and was disappointed no one else got to see or taste it. I think I'd tell her lot go ahead and make the cake if she wants, but you got the cake SO asked for, so that's what you'll be serving. I wish I had the composure to say something. I just know that would send her into a spiral where she makes sure that no one has a good time. Text or call him and tell him you got the cake he requested, but his mom decided to make him one from scratch anyway, so both will be served. Let the chips fall where they may. Hell with that. This way, OP and SO get an entire cake to themselves. Make sure he knows that they did everything without telling you and asking you to be involved. Better yet, pack a picnic basket and go somewhere else to eat. Honestly, if I had told them about it before the gathering, they would have suggested the same thing. I should have just done that. Print a banner saying, "Thank you MIL for arranging this birthday party." Get a marzipan photo of MIL put in the middle of the cake, surrounded by writing saying, "Happy MIL's birthday party for so." See, this is exactly what the type of thing I'm tempted to do. I commend your composure and ability to hold it together in order to make the day a win for your so. Hope they enjoy their birthday and things improve for y'all soon. Thank you. I try. Not gonna lie, it's all drained me. When can the two of you move out? When that happens, you two can celebrate on your own and you will enjoy it so much more. Before we were living here, we rarely celebrated anything with them, or we at least had our official celebration and the families was just a side thing. Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, etc. I can't wait to get out of here. I'm not sure why some people think a food allergy is the same as someone not liking a certain food. I have a penicillin allergy, and no one questions me about it. Should be the same thing with food allergies. Unfortunately, it's not to some people. Your MIL sounds absolutely draining. I'm sorry you're stuck in a situation where you have to spend so much time with her. Definitely have your own private little celebration with so and enjoy that cake without mommy dearest. I think just know people too often and too loudly claim food allergies when they have food preferences or just want to feel special. So a just know person isn't likely to believe someone might legitimately have a food allergy. IMO. This is so annoying. I am sorry you have to deal with MIL and her passive aggressiveness. My MIL brought cake to my SO's birthday this past year and insisted I serve it instead of the cupcakes that he requested I make. She was so pissed when I put what she brought in the fridge and served the cupcakes I made. So ridiculous. Good luck, and I hope you and so can find your own place soon. It must be very difficult sharing the same space as her. Ugh, it's so annoying. You're better than I am. I should have done that. I'd be afraid of cross-contamination if you put out both cakes. I've had to abandon food when people put their shellfish-covered forks or fingers on it. Unfortunately, the cake I also can't eat. I got my own separate dessert. I feel that though, that's why I wanted to get and make the dinner. If I don't see how things were made or packaging, I don't eat it. Most of the time I only end up eating what I've made or brought, even I have to keep a close eye on it. I am taking my own cat back from my ex, and my ex MIL says I'm being spiteful. I was with my ex for almost 4 years. We moved a few hours away and our relationship fell apart because of my anxiety. I couldn't work for most of 2021, I couldn't go to stores, libraries, pharmacies, doctors. I've had anxiety attacks since age 9. I had never experienced anxiety so badly until 2021. Now that we are broken up, MIL is a nightmare that accuses me of being lazy and not wanting to work. She was always crazy, having constant mood swings and fake crying to get what she wanted. Her mental illnesses were extremely severe from a decade of heavy meth use and abuse from her ex-husband. Around the same time I broke it off with my ex, my MIL lended me $20 to help me out with my move back to my hometown. I completely forgot about it until August, and she messaged me a few days ago and reminded me. Unfortunately, I couldn't pay her until the weekend and told her I would send her the money Friday, today, or Saturday when I had it. At this point, MIL began to call me lazy, spiteful, etc. I told her I could message my ex and have him help her for now, as I'd rather owe him and he makes about 3x what I do, and she was insistent that she needed the money immediately. She completely blew up, and said she had also bought me a pair of shoes 2 years prior that I owed her money for, but I can't remember her buying me any shoes at all. She then told me that my cat of 4 years that I got when he was a kitten was bonded to my ex and his emotional support animal, and that my ex was keeping him. She said I'm just messing with his life, and told me to ask my new boyfriend for $20 to pay her back, which I absolutely did not do. I'm just glad I have the 20 for her and can end this forever. Block her. There's zero reason your ex's mother needs to get a hold of you. Stop dealing with her. Pay her the $20 you owe her and put her in your rear-view mirror where she belongs. Did you get your cat back? Not yet. I told my ex what she said and he said he was planning on bringing my cat down to me and to ignore her. Why are you still in contact with her? She was very needy and would talk to me a lot when I was with my ex, especially if he wasn't responding to her. She sounds terrible. Mainly she sounds like a user who will go after anyone she can for imaginary reasons. Can you block her? Are you and ex on moderately friendly terms? Should he be aware his mother is harassing you? I told her that I told him about what she said and she was extremely upset, but what she expected. I didn't see anything in your post to match the title. Did you read it? It's there at the end. You need to realize that she's projecting, she's stirring up trouble and lashing out at you. She's miserable that you've repartnered. Send her the money and go love your happy life. She wants you as miserable as you are. So be happy and move on. Such drama over 20. At her age, that's pathetic. Move past her drama and have a giggle one day when you realize you dodged major bullets. JustNoMil showed up at husband's work. My MIL has been CO for about a year now. We were LC with her for not respecting boundaries, controlling behavior, and the way she acted when she didn't get her way, but it all came to a head about a year ago on a phone call with my husband where she said she threatened the relationship between my husband and our daughter, who was only a year old at the time. That was the last straw for my husband. My husband and I blocked her on our phones. She does not have social media, so that wasn't an issue. We would get things in the mail sometimes from her. Mostly birthday and holiday cards, which we just tossed. My husband did receive a couple letters from her. He read the first one, but the next two he just threw right in the trash. She also tried to have other family members reach out to my husband on her behalf, but husband put up boundaries with them, saying MIL is off the table. Things have generally been more pleasant without her. Our daughter doesn't know her, and my 10-year-old son, not husband's bio child, has an age-appropriate understanding of what happened. He was never close to her and has two very loving grandmothers of his own. Cut to now. Husband's maternal grandmother is moving to hospice care. Husband has only seen her a couple of times these past few years due to location and COVID. Assisted living facility wasn't allowing guests for over a year, but he calls her regularly and tries to keep a good relationship with her despite the issues with his mom. He was planning on seeing her today to say goodbye. The issue of the funeral came up as his mom will obviously be there, if not the one organizing most of it. I told him funerals are for the living. If he thinks the funeral will give him closure, he should go. If it will make him more upset, then no one would judge him if he skipped it. I also pointed out that we could go to her grave after the funeral so he could have a private moment if he wanted. He said he wanted to go over with his therapist before he decides. He goes every other Wednesday. So yesterday, husband gets off work and goes out to see his mom has parked next to him in the parking lot and is standing in front of his door. She asks if they can talk. He says no, this is his place of work and she shouldn't be here. She says he's left her no other choice since he doesn't answer letters. He tells her he is extremely uncomfortable right now and she needs to let him get into his car. She says she needs to talk about grandmother, he says he knows already and again he's uncomfortable and he would like to leave. She gets angry at this point and calls him an asshole, and not to go to the funeral. He decides to just get in the passenger door and just crawl over to the driver's seat at this point. He leaves while she's shouting and goes to a different parking lot just to take some breaths and calm down. It's now the next day and I told him I think we should talk to a lawyer. She crossed the harassment line when she showed up at his work in my mind. He agrees that he wants to talk to a lawyer and see if we can send some sort of cease and desist right now. I also said if it happens again, he needs to record it. So that's where we're at now. He left a VM for the same lawyer we used for our wills and waiting for a call back. Sorry this is so long. I just wanted to see if anyone else experienced anything similar. Are we overreacting with contacting the lawyer? Am I missing something? He needs to take this to HR at work too, and see if they can or will trespass her from the property. He should never have to worry about if she's going to be there when he is there. That's a very good point. I will bring this up to him. For complicated reasons my mother couldn't go to her half-brother's funeral. I suggested that she call her minister, who arranged a small private service, just me and my parents. My mother was a Christian, so this brought her a lot of comfort. If religion doesn't enter into it, a visit to the grave sounds like a good plan. You're not overreacting, it's a big escalation and she's obviously not getting the message. My one piece of advice though is don't bother sending her a cease and desist without having a lawyer send it, it would be a waste of time. Presumably she has been told not to contact you. Your husband made it clear she was not welcome to come to his work. A letter from you two that uses the words cease and desist isn't going to change her mind. A letter from a law firm though carries a bit more weight. So in the meantime, just start documenting what she's doing and if she escalates again, call the police. If there is going to be a wake or a viewing, DH could ask the funeral home for a private moment before or after public hours. He will have to tell then briefly about the conflict with his egg donor, but often the funeral director will accommodate you. My other suggestion is a forward and backward facing dash cam that records audio. They have motion-triggered cameras that will capture any such ambush as happened at his work. Doorbell cams at home too if she might show up there. We have a blink system at home, but dash cams might be a good investment at this point. What does CO stand for? Cut out, aka no contact. Talk to the employer and let them know he has a stalker and ask if he can have any camera footage of her being on the property. If it were me, I wouldn't go to the funeral, I'd show up at the gravesite later so I doesn't run into her boo-hooing to family, my son doesn't speak to me. He doesn't need that. Not overreacting at all. When his mother won't take no for an answer and blocks him from entering his own vehicle at work, then it's obvious further steps need to be taken. It's too bad he didn't tell his mother to wait by the car as he forgot something in his office, then had security call the cops on her. He probably should tell someone at work what she did so they can see about getting her trespassed from there if she shows up again. If he goes to the funeral, it would be good to have another family member with him to run interference for him with his mother. He should just tell her this is neither the time nor the place for this discussion if she confronts him there and walk past her while the other relative blocks her off. Otherwise I think your idea of visiting the gravesite afterwards is a good one. If she can show up there she can show up at your home, or at your own place of business. Or anywhere she thinks he will frequent. If she was attached to your daughter she may even think to show up somewhere where she may get a peek at her. My whole ramble aside, definitely think your cease and desist is a good idea. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and we will see you in the next video.